Every video I could find about installing a Seadoo boarding step showed machines that were brand new and have the brackets already pre-installed. So what happens if you've got a machine like this that doesn't already have brackets? Well, Seadoo manufactures and sells a kit which basically consists of the boarding step and some instructions and various hardware. Depending on your application, your machine, these will fit 2006 to 2019, I believe, with this kit. And then from then on, it's a different setup because they have the brackets pre-installed. But 06 to 2019, this kit will cover with everything that's included. If you're crafty, you could probably make this kit fit any Seadoo. But let's have a look at what we're going to need to install this. So the instructions for your specific machine, or rather the complete instruction sheet, is linked in the description, as well as the pinned comment, as well as everything you're going to need to get this done. Essentially on this machine, this has a B style drain plug with a number 2 style mounting method, I believe, which you can figure out from the sheet and the instructions based on the year and model of the machine you have and observing the drain plugs with your eyes. So on this machine, we need to measure out 1/2 inch. So I've got a dial caliper here that will let me dial in 1/2 inch, and then I can lock this thing down, and then I can measure 1/2 inch above the drain plug and just make a little line, a little horizontal line there, right there, 1 3/4 inches. Got that locked in. Basically, we're going to measure over from this edge and make a vertical line. Now, where those two lines intersect, we need to drill a hole, and we need to measure the same exact measurements on this side. So 1 3/4 in, and then 1/2 inch up. All right, after we've got this marked on both sides, 1 3/4 inches from this edge out and 1/2 inch from the top of this drain plug up. That's our center point. We want to drill with a 7/32 drill bit, and we need to go just enough to break through the hull. We don't want to drill in, because think about where stuff is, or look inside of your access panels here. Your battery's right on the other side of this, and the IBR motor is right on the other side of this. So we don't want to drill too deep. We just want to get through the fiberglass. So let's drill a 7/32 hole right here. Popped through. That's what we want. Now we'll come over and do the same over on this side. On this machine in particular, we're going to use these really coarse screws that have a Torx head but look like a big coarse wood screw. We're going to need 2 of those. And then we will mount this temporarily. So if you look at the mounting pattern here, that one is going to be our bottom. Then we need to mark our top 2, drill those holes. All right, now we've got this temporarily mounted with 2 screws in the bottom. So we need to mark our upper screws. And what I'm going to do is just take that drill bit and just kind of twist that in there by hand, so that I get a good mark. Now the instructions say to use a center punch and hit it with a hammer or like a long nail, and I just worry that that's going to crack the gel coat and cause us issues with delamination down the line or something. So this is the way I'm going to do it. Just need to make a mark so that we can see it later. All right. Now that we've got those marked, we can pull this back off. Okay, there we go. Now we've got our 2 marks here and our 2 marks here. So we'll take our drill bit and we'll just drill through those. Just pop through. Okay, and then the same over here. So we're going to put a little 3M 5200. I've got black here on each of these screws as well as each of these 6 holes. So 3 on this side, 3 on that side. We're going to put a little 5200 in and around these as well as on the threads of our screws so that we can seal up this fiberglass in here so that we don't have any issues with water intrusion or water getting in between the gel coat and the fiberglass that could cause delamination. So let's 5200 all this stuff up, get this boarding step installed once and for all. All right. Keep in mind, we're not using the 5200 to glue the boarding step on or anything like that. This is just for sealing up our screws. So we don't need to get it all over this surface. We just need to get it on the screws and the fiberglass. Now we can install these. So what I'm going to do is just put a little dab of 5200 right on these threads. I'm probably going way overkill on this, but I would like this not to leak. Well, this boarding step is on here nice and solid. This will make getting back on this machine a whole lot nicer while we're out on the water. Now, if you want to do this to your 06 to 2019 Seadoo, everything you need is down in the description. The kit itself, as well as the tools, supplies, and everything is listed in the description and the pinned comment. So run on down there and get the stuff you need to make it a little bit easier to get back on your PWC this summer. Thanks for watching.